Good afternoon. This is Stiv to Slava. I'm here today because I want to continue with my orchestra library feature. You may be asking yourself, what is this word score? What does that mean? It comes from the way music is prepared, one method, which is in English called engraving, in German called Notenstich, which basically means music cutting. Music cutting, Notenstich. The word engrave means, it comes from grave, like when you make a grave, you dig a hole, or you might dig a trench. Well, that's what you do when you're preparing the musical plates. You have what is called a rastrum, which is a steel claw, and it essentially scratches the surface of the metal plate and digs a trench. It engraves the lines onto the metal plate. And of course, engraving is not the only part of that method. You also have punching. You have musical punches where once the lines are engraved, then they take a steel punch that has the symbols on the tip. And you hammer it. It takes a lot of practice to get just the right touch. You tap it, and it impresses a note or a clef or a sharp or a flat, the various symbols of music, into that spot. And then some of the long phrase lines, the slur lines, go back with a little cutter and again engrave a single line. So you're cutting a little groove in the metal plate. This process, of course, leads up to the printing. That's a whole nother story. At any rate, that's where the word score comes from. You score the plate with the rastrum. And now, to follow in the tradition of my newly found acquaintance, Dr. Huliganov, I will spread a little bit of humor to sort of break things up a little bit. I have here a copy of a letter from the highly regarded L. van Beethoven to the illustrious publishing house of Breitkopf und Härtel. It begins, "Gentlemen, whoever conceived the idea of deleting the chorus from my Ninth Symphony is a pustule. That is precisely the type of suggestion to which I turn a deaf ear. Now about number 10. You're absolutely right. I'm pooped. But a 10th Symphony is very important to me, so I'm going ahead with the sketches. If I get too tired, I'll give them to the Wienerwald Public Library. God knows I wouldn't give them to you. Anyone who would cut a note of my ninth. Safer with a librarian. Signed, Beethoven." Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That, of course, was a a loose translation of the original. This is Steve Tuslava thanking you, and I'll be seeing you again.